Hello and welcome back to the radio room. Got a Heathkit HW 101 single sideband transceiver. Gonna do a little bit of work on. Got a few things in mind that I'm gonna do on this radio. Not exactly sure exactly how far I'm gonna go on it. It's actually in really good shape. I mean, you can take a look at the front panel here. It's clean. It's a little dusty. But other than that, it's a clean radio. It's looks like it's very well taken care of. I have removed the screws for the covers, so don't worry about this little gap right here or the one on the other side. That's just because the cover's a little flexed up from being unscrewed. I am going to recap this. The person I got the radio from, I got it at a Hamfest 3 months ago, 2 months ago. He was the original owner. In fact, he does still have. I did get the manual with it, the Heathkit manual, and I bought this and the HP 23B power supply that goes with it. That's a couple videos back where it shows where I redid the recapping on it, changed all the resistors and diodes in it. So this radio goes with that. It's very well taken care of. He put it together as a kit when he first got it. It's very clean on the outside. No dings that I can find or anything like that. Maybe some just tiny little scratches in the paint. There's a few things I'm going to do to this radio. One being, I'm going to recap it. I do have a cap kit that I ordered from Hayseed Hamfest, I believe. It's got all the electrolytics and looks like some replacements for some Mylar capacitors in there. I found just about all of them in the manual except for one. There's it's a .47 microfarad. .047 microfarad that I haven't found in the manual yet. This it might have went in the HW 101. This kit goes for the 101 or the 100, so maybe I'm missing that in this one because the 101 didn't have it. I'm not sure. It's either that or I'll find it when I'm going through everything. But kind of got a little bit of an idea of where everything goes. So I'm going to do a recap on it. And probably see if I can go through the alignment process according to the manual. But other than that, it's mostly going to be a let's get it on the air type thing. The only other thing I might do is the antenna port right here. They used an RCA plug, which I'm guessing worked just fine. I would prefer to have an SO239 on there or a BNC. Don't know. I might go with a BNC there because I'm just looking at the hole. If I put a BNC on there, I might not have to drill a hole out bigger, but I might go SO239. Either way, I'm probably just going to put one of the ones that's a chassis mount that doesn't have, if I do an SO239 that doesn't have the 4 extra holes. I think that might get a little crowded right here, and I think I can make it look a little more original, possibly. You might still see the holes, I'm not sure. But I do want to change the antenna connector. RCA is good for audio, in my opinion. Maybe video. Remember the old yellow cords for your VCR? But I'll probably change that out. I do have the cord, which I'm probably going to do a little bit of work on. It's not in terrible shape either. I did notice the radio end here is coming out, and I'm gonna have to do some work on it. Let's see if you guys can see that on the camera. I'm gonna get the light right there. You can see the. Well, hoping you guys can. I get the light a little bit better here. But there is shiny right there, and that is a crack in the insulation. So I'll probably remove this end and redo it. For one, I don't like it sticking out like that. There are several cracked wires in there. In fact, I'm not sure if there's one that's not cracked. Anyhow, I'll cut this back, replace it, probably check the other end, look inside there and make sure it's okay. I have a feeling everything inside of here, I'm hoping, is just fine, a little more protected, but I'll redo the power cable before I get it going as well. There's some about 100 volts on the plate voltages for the tubes that's coming through that cable. Not sure which if that red wire is at 800 volts, but air breaks down at 300. So unless there's enough space between them, you could have some arcing if it goes over to gets close enough over to a ground, and that would be two wires connected together. Possibly 800 volts could jump and arc. So I'll do something about that. So give me just a second. I'll change the camera view a little bit. We'll take a look at the inside, and you'll see besides some dust, maybe a few cobwebs. This is a nice looking radio on the inside. Well, there's also one tube I'm going to point out that I might have to end up replacing. Haven't even turned this thing on yet, so give me a moment. Let me change the camera view and we will take a look at that. Alright, got the camera view changed around a little bit, lighting a little bit different. That these tops, you get too much light on them, it just washes everything out. Probably because I'm not, using super high-tech cameras here, but yeah. As you can see, it's not a bad-looking radio on the inside. I do find it just slightly funny. All the boards are the same color except for that one, but I'm not saying that that's a problem. Just different. Probably just the boards that they had at the time when this one was made. I don't know exactly when this one was made. I've done a little bit of research on HW101s and looking at the resistors, seeing as how they got these squared edges to them, that it's possibly one of the earlier ones. There's also, I'm not even sure where it's at right now, but there's another way you can apparently tell. I believe it's on the RF driver board, maybe. If there's a resistor that's in there or not in there. The later ones didn't, it just had a shunt. And I'd have to look where that's at. But it doesn't look too bad inside. A little dusty. I am going to be changing out these paper electrolytics. There's one here. There's also one right over here. And then there's a few small electrolytics here. I want to say there's one over here somewhere down in here on the modulator board. I'm hoping my carrier null potentiometer is good. From what I understand, that's a common failure on them. I guess I'll find out when I get to the alignment portion. If it's good, yay. If it's not, I believe there's some like 10 turn potentiometers you can put in there that work really well. From what I understand, it's harder to get that out of there than it is to put the new one in. And that's mostly because apparently there's a wiring harness that runs right there by where that's soldered in on the bottom. Let's see here. Anything? Oh, these rubber belts here. Let me see if I can get you close enough. You can see this. Get some more light on there, maybe help. Please don't mind the creaking. It's just the stand I have it on. But you can see some cracking. Here. You can probably see the cracking on that one as well. So I do have, let me lift this up out of here. I do have some new belts that came for that. Let me get this opened up here and we will take a look at them. So these two right here are going to be replaced, and this is actually a, I guess you could call it a string. If I'm not mistaken, there is a belt replacement for that, so I may replace that. I don't know yet. I will have to remove, obviously, the rod there to get these on, but I don't see those lasting very long, so they're going to get changed. I found these on eBay, I believe. They are specifically for, I believe, the 101 and the 100. But new belts, so yeah, it does have the third one for that. You got these two, which will go here. Then it has one that you can put here to replace this this belt one, or this string type one right here. So I'll probably just go ahead and change all of them while I'm in there, just to have a little bit of a reassurance that that string ain't gonna break or slip. I don't know if it's done any slipping. It doesn't look like it has. When I go stop to stop, the knob feels fairly right. I mean, it's still lining up. I'm looking at the front. It might be a little. It might have slipped a little bit. The knob does not quite balance itself each side at its stop, so it might have slipped a little bit. We'll get the deals on there, and it should work just fine, which I don't think should be a problem. This has got a pretty deep groove in this pulley here, so as long as it rides over this gap part right here, it'll be fine. Look at that. As long as it rides over that portion right there without slipping out, it should be fine. I'll carefully take that string out just in case I have to reuse it. It's just a sprung string, so that shouldn't be a problem. I'm getting it out and putting it back in if I need to. But that's pretty much what I'm going to do on the HW 101. I'll probably do this video in a couple of different segments as I go through things, instead of just piecing it all together. Maybe keep it as some shorter videos. But oh yeah, see if we can't flip this thing over and see and look at the bottom of it. Like I said, I already had the screws removed. Now, if there's a way to set this on here, I might just have to not do it on the rope. You know what? I'm just going to not use the turntable right now. It'll sit on the front and back frame just fine. The bottom of it looks really nice too. Let me turn this light off. Maybe we can have a little bit better view without being blinded. But it looks pretty nice underneath here too as well. Got a electrolytic capacitor back here. Let me get this moved up here. Do have an electrolytic capacitor hiding right back down in here that'll get changed. That capacitor right there, I think, is one that also is going to get changed. It's in that kit. Crystal filters in it. A few cobwebs. Other than that, it's nicely built. I mean, good soldering, it looks like. You know, I don't see a lot of spikes sticking out from them or anything where they had to keep soldering trying to get something to stick and ran the flux out. So I'll wipe it out, kind of vacuum it out a little bit. I don't think this thing is anywhere near bad enough to subject it to a bath, so to speak. So we'll just do a gentle clean with a little paintbrush and a little hand vac. Get it cleaned up a little bit. I mean, I don't really even see very much corrosion. There's a little bit of corrosion right in here, and that kind of matches what I'm seeing on the, let me see, is that the front? Yep. A little bit of, and that might be just from a vibration or something. Kind of rubbed that through right there. It could be a little bit of corrosion on there as well, a little humidity. But everything else looks really nice. I mean, there's no dings, the backing all caved in or anything like that. The corners are straight. The back panel even looks straight. It's definitely been a well taken care of radio. And of course I'll go through and clean all the pots and stuff with some deoxit, just clean them up a little bit. Not sure if they're scratchy or not. Just some preventative stuff I'm going to do before I even fire it up. Definitely got to fix that cable. I don't like seeing the cracks in the insulation. But I think this is going to be a fun project. Might take me a little bit of time, but I think it's going to be fun. Oh, one other thing I was going to point out. You can see this tube right here. And I don't know if it's going to focus on it or not. Let me get down there a little bit closer. Maybe it'll decide to focus. Maybe it needs some more light. Maybe that's too much light. Will it focus? Anyhow, as you can see, once the camera quits moving around, it says poor, which I'm guessing the previous owner maybe tested it. I don't have a tube tester, so if things don't seem to play quite right, on reception or something like that, might be finding a new tube. I think I looked that one up a while back, a month or so ago, and it's at $8 or something, I think. So that's where we're at. That's going to be one of the projects. I'll show you some updates on it. It's pretty straightforward as far as, changing electrolyte capacitors, unsolder, resolder, just pulling the shafts out on these, changing the belts out on it, drilling a new hole in the back if I decide to go with an SO239. Oh, one thing I do find interesting, right here is the relay. Guessing the cover was lost, because that is a film container. Oh, and I'll clean those too. But that it actually kind of pops down on there too, so it just doesn't wiggle around unless you're throwing the radio around, and probably not the best thing to do. But it seems to work quite well, just kind of hanging out right there. At least a nice dust cover for the relay. It actually kind of stays there. So that's pretty cool. I'm guessing the cover went missing to that relay. Or, I don't know, maybe it never had a cover, and that decided to work real good. Be a good idea if it didn't have one. But this is what's going to be coming up probably in the radio room. Might have some other stuff mixed in there while I'm working on it. This is my radio, so there's not really a time limit on it. I do want to get it operational, and we'll definitely take a look at it on the air once it's operational. So just wanted to kind of go over what I was going to be working on, and let y'all know that I think this is a pretty cool little project. Hopefully it's going to work out pretty well. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you later.